I was already holding the knife when I found the note. Not for him, for the apple. Thin slices. Sunday quiet. The Bible slipped from the shelf when I reached for a napkin. It landed open, spine cracked, as if it had been waiting. The handwriting wasn't mine. It was his. If she discovers the truth, kill her. No punctuation, no emotion, just instruction. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I closed the book gently, like you do with sleeping children. My reflection stared back from the glass cabinet, steady, pale, listening. In that moment, something ancient in me recalibrated. Love shut off. Calculation turned on. I had loved him with a faith that felt biblical. We built a life that looked righteous from the outside. Church dinners, charity galas, polite laughter. He liked to say we were untouchable. I believed him, because belief was easier than doubt, because trusting your husband feels like breathing. He taught me how to read balance sheets before bed. I taught him how to hold my hand when I woke from nightmares. We were a system, or so I thought. The first fracture came months earlier, subtle as a hairline crack. Locked drawers, late meetings, a softness in his voice reserved for someone else. I noticed, I catalogued, I waited. Love teaches patience, betrayal teaches timing. The note was confirmation, not of an affair, of intent. He didn't want me gone emotionally. He wanted me erased. I sat at the kitchen table until the sun moved across the floor. Then I stood up and began. I hired no private investigator at first. I didn't need one. I was married to him. I knew his rhythms, his tells, the way his left eye twitched when he lied, the way he over-explained when cornered. I followed money trails the way some women follow perfume. What I found was clean, professional, and cruel. A trust, a shell company, beneficiaries with unfamiliar names, my name missing. I smiled when I saw the structure, not because it hurt, but because it was sloppy. He underestimated me. That's always where men fail. I retained a lawyer under a pseudonym, then another. I audited our finances under the guise of planning a foundation. I recorded conversations disguised as memory notes. I documented everything: dates, times, signatures, intent. Weeks passed. He kissed my forehead every morning. I let him. I rewrote my will. I activated clauses he didn't know existed. I transferred voting rights quietly, legally, irrevocably. The trust wasn't just a vault, it was a weapon. By the time he noticed something was wrong, it was already over. "You're outdated. We're done here," he hissed across his desk, confidence curdling into arrogance. He thought he was firing me, from the company, from relevance, from life. I replied quietly, "Understood." That was the moment the retirement trust activated its voting rights. By Monday morning, the board convened an emergency meeting. Confusion filled the room first, then fear. Someone finally asked the question that cracked the air open. Who just fired the person who owns 76% of the shares? I didn't attend in person. Power doesn't need presence, it needs paperwork. They removed him by noon. By dusk, his accounts were frozen. His mistress, yes, I found her too, was escorted out of the apartment I owned. He called me 12 times. I let the phone ring. The confrontation came later, private, quiet. He looked smaller without his titles. His Bible sat on the table between us. I opened it to the page. He went white. "I didn't mean—" I raised a hand. He stopped. "I know exactly what you meant," I said. "You planned to erase me. You forgot I wrote myself into the margins." I slid the documents across the table. He didn't touch them. He didn't have to. He knew. "What do you want?" he asked. I leaned in, just close enough for him to hear the truth. "I want you alive," I said, "living with the knowledge that you tried to kill a woman who outthought you." He left with nothing but his name. I kept the house, the company, the future. Now, when I open that Bible, I don't feel fear, I feel clarity. Betrayal stripped me down to something precise, something unmovable. I didn't survive because I was lucky. I survived because I listened, I planned, I executed, and I never raised my voice. Justice doesn't always come screaming. Sometimes it arrives quietly, like a book falling open to the exact page you need.